in a world where three white guys walk into a bar and almost get into a racial gang fight.
Ooh, in 5D?
True story, by the way. True story. That almost happened to us last night.
Oh, I was about to say, I are not white. Why are included?
No, actually, it was these three Mexican guys came up to us. They were drunk as shit. They loved me, by the way. They were buying me drinks the whole night. And they come up to me at the end, like, "Hey, man, if it's Mexicans versus blacks, do you have our back?" I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
I'm like, I'm just here to drink and have a good time. And like immediately, Aaron and Squid just walk away. They're like, "Oh wait, you're not Mexican." I'm like, "No, I'm not me."
Wow.
Like, sorry to get you involved, bro. Go have fun. And they fucking take off.
That's kind of weird.
What?
Drinking in Pittsburgh. That's what happens when you drink in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yes, the birthplace of meth. And we mean Pittsburgh, California, not Pittsburgh,
for anybody who's like,
one.
oh, but no, there's a Pittsburgh, California for no reason.
Yep.
So, holy shit, here I am. I am back. I know I missed an ep. But I'm in my new house. I got shit. I apparently I'm floating in the air.
You actually didn't miss anything. We did not record without you.
I thought you had.
No.
Didn't
y'all are a bunch of bitches.
It took a break.
We could have just let him go with it, Klops, but I
think we should have, honestly.
Either way, I just want
have everybody be like, the fuck is he talking about?
I just want to talk about my new motherfucking setup here, man. It looks like I've got some bullshit background going on. I know I got some clipping issues. I'm fucking working on it. But yeah, I'm kind of stoked. I'm in the new house.
For a hastily assembled recording nook. It's very well done.
Yeah. So the green screen literally didn't come in until about 10 minutes ago. So it's in behind me. Here we go. I'm not really floating in the air. But actually, I would like to start this cast off with some rage. Some nerd rage.
Against the machine.
Some streaks of rage.
It's no...
Just ignoring us.
Whoops. That's broken.
Oh. Hastily assembled, everybody.
Yep.
Hastily assembled.
It's not working. Nope. Just
professionals, people.
There we go.
Play the hastily assembled song.
Okay, I think that's better. No pops, right? Pop. No. So, anyways, it's no secret. I'm a giant fucking Destiny 2 fan.
Gross.
Actually, I'm a giant
gross.
Fucking Destiny fan, and
still gross.
And this last week, or actually, it's since the last time I was on this podcast, they released season 4, season 3, next season with a new expansion, the Forsaken expansion.
Mm-hmm.
And
So is it actually the Forsaken expansion, like that piece of shit?
Yeah. That's what it's called. It's called The Forsaken. Also, I am motherfucking pissed about this. So, I have to go into it a little bit in case folks don't know how Destiny has been working. So, like any other sort of MMO game and whatnot, it has different in-game currencies. There's the planetary currency. There's the general currency. So the planetary currency changes depending on what planet you're on. It's just like a natural resource from that planet. Then there's the...
So that's more like ruples versus dollars. It's just whichever planet you got ruples, you got dollars.
So no. So it would be more like this planet you find a lot of steel.
Relic iron.
Yeah, relic iron in this. But it's basically here you find steel or iron. There you find silver, that kind of thing. Right? Except these have some weird transcending names because it's Destiny.
What planet that's highly advanced species still uses natural rocks for currency? Fuck you.
And they're not actual natural rocks. They're all
Either way. It's not like a currency they're controlling. If you can find it in the desert, it's not currency.
Well, it's currency, but it's crafting materials or whatever. Anyways, so moving on, then you have Glimmer, which is the general currency that everybody uses. Then you have Silver, which is their bullshit premium currency. And then depending on what you're crafting, you got Shards. And these things, they just released them towards, I believe, It was after the Taken King expansion. It was, I think, right before the last expansion. They released these things called Masterwork Cores, and the way that it works is, for your normal armor, you have Masterwork Cores that you can apply to it, and a normal legendary item can now have properties of what an exotic would be. So you find these weapons that are Masterwork weapons. They're just like basically made by a master craftsman or whatever. You break them down and you get these cores, and then you enhance your weapons and your armor with it. And now you have a Masterwork piece of armor. It's all about grinding, right? Just different ways to grind.
Some crazy weapon maker pours his heart and soul and makes a weapon good enough to build legend behind it. And you rip it down and take the shiniest part and strap it to another gun.
Fuck yeah, I
Yay!
do. And fuck yeah, I do. And I'm not even sorry is the best fucking part. Not even a little. So, here's the worst part about this. Masterwork weapons, they're not very common. They're a rare roll, and breaking them down doesn't always give you a lot of Masterwork cores. And before that was okay, because whatever, you just break shit down, and eventually you get to enhance the shit you like or the shit you have with these Masterwork cores. Here's what they've changed for this expansion. Before, you could have, let's call it, a purple is the one right before the bright yellow one, which is the exotic. So you have a purple set of armor that is rated at purple set of armor. A purple set of armor that is rated at, let's call it 300 power level. Well, if you find like a blue or another purple that is 320, you could infuse your current armor set, because you like its stats or you like how it looks or whatever, with these, basically consume the other thing and integrate it into this, and yours becomes a higher level. And that used to cost Glimmer, legendary shards, which is what you get when you break down the purples, and obviously it would consume that item as well. Now, to do any infusions, it costs Masterwork cores. But they haven't upped the drop rate of Masterwork cores.
Can you buy Masterwork cores?
Yes, but
of course you can.
But no. You can't buy them. You can't buy them for real money. You buy them with in-game money. But every time you buy one, I think it's during a weekly reset, the cost goes up. So you buy the first one, and it costs, let's say, 10 legendary shards. Well, the next one will cost you 20, and the one after that will cost you 40 or whatever. I don't know the exact numbers. And then at the weekly reset, you go back down to the first one. So, ideally speaking, you're only going to get maybe 3 a week, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. Or I think there was a limit on 3, but anyways, and the legendary shards are only from purple drops, which aren't they're common, but they're not super common. So either way, they've just dicked everybody and took away something that everybody could do before, and just made it increasingly more grindy and difficult to fucking do. Like, Klops, you remember how grindy it was before, and you know what I'm talking about with the shards and shit.
Yeah, I also remember, like, when they upped it from what it was before to being grindy as it was, and I thought that was way too grindy. At least for me, I was like, I'm not gonna sit. I went from like working 3 characters to only working 1 because it was so grindy. And I
hope other motherfuckers who played Destiny are right along with you, because I'm like, I need a chart, and I need like maps and shit with like graphs, because I don't know.
So it's one of those things that if you've been playing from the beginning, you get, but if you haven't, you're like, what the fuck is any of this? And you have to really ease into it. So dude, I am fucking furious. And if it wasn't for the fact that my microphone is super sensitive right now, I'd be fucking yelling, like, super pissed. God damn it.
I get it. I've had another run-in with a different game this week that's had issues. Siege just dropped their newish patch with their newest operators, right? And I have the season pass. Like, I get all the operators as they come out, so I was stoked. But something has happened to where now there's a really big connection error for anyone in North America to the Ubisoft servers, and you get a timeout error is what it is. It's like 6-0x00 blah blah blah, right? And it's consistent. It just keeps happening. And so I haven't even been able to play the game that I want to play for the past fucking week because of it. And it's just one of those issues they're still trying to solve.
Oh my
God.
God.
I've done every fix that they've thought about that has worked for some other people, like flushing your DNS and stuff like that, and it just hasn't worked for me. I can maybe get into one match and then it's fucking toast, and I can't even connect with friends. Like, it gives me a different error. It's just, they completely fucked their game in this last patch, and it pisses me off because it's like the game I want to play. You know what I mean?
Wow.
That's it's been rough.
And
so I get it. I get that rage. Like, developers do stupid shit all the goddamn time.
But this one doesn't even make any goddamn sense. So they took another element of the game out. They took weapon mods and armor mods out. You know how you used to be able to do like all kinds of crazy mods? Well, I went in and it said, hey, this stuff's obsolete now. Just turn it in for mod components. So they have some of the stuff that they left in, but some of the stuff they didn't. I'm just fucking furious. I'm like, I just want to play the fucking game and enjoy it. Why do you have to make it more difficult to enjoy your fucking game? And here's the worst part. The cinematic opening for the new expansion and the first mission and how they pulled that off is fantastic. They took a character that everybody fucking loves and just did stuff with him that is totally gonna fucking...
They did stuff to
Well,
him.
I'm trying not to do spoilers, you know, because it just came out last week. But like, the things that they did with that character, it's gonna hurt. And it hurts folks. And, dude, it was well done. And they've added this tone of mystery. You're not really sure what's going on. And I actually want to keep playing and finding out more. But the problem now is that I've been grinding this whole fucking time, and I have a bunch of really powerful weapons and really powerful armors that are now super outclassed by fucking common items. And
yeah, that's kind of what happens, though. Like,
sure. The common items are more powerful in the sense of like how much damage you make, but all of the special abilities and all the little bonuses, they're fucking gone. So now I have to grind even more to get these masterwork cores, and because of that, I can't even infuse my old shit with the new stuff. Before it was like, cool, you got new gear that's more powerful. If you want to keep it, keep it. If not, shove it into something else and make your old stuff stronger.
Something else.
Yeah. But I'm just, dude, I don't even know what to fucking do. It just, oh my God, like, I had tried to defend Destiny up until now. Even that last expansion, I like the story, I like what they did, some of the weapons were cool, but now it's like, dude, your story is great and I want to keep playing it, but you're making it not worth it. Like, I even like their new fucking weapon. They have a new bow weapon that's really fucking cool. Like, it's so, I keep saying like it.
Oh my God, it was like,
oh my God.
Oh my God.
And then I had to grind, and it was so bogus. Yeah, no, I'm fucking furious. What the fuck? Nah. There you go. I just blew up the mic a little. Take that.
Well, speaking of games and changes, not all of them are bad? Question mark? Cops, what about The Hunt? Tell me of it. Tell me of The Hunt.
Oh, well, in a moment of desperation of trying to like fill my void for Siege, with
he likes
my
to
buddy,
fill his void a lot.
Saint, who I game a lot with, who was also having internet issues, thanks to our lovely providers, which I'm not going to sponsor here.
Take that, providers.
Yeah. We ended up playing some Hunt Showdown. Now, I haven't played Hunt Showdown since it first came out. When it first came out, it had tons of server issues and was buggy as shit.
Well, fuck you.
There was times that you would get away with a hunt, and then it would be like, sorry, something went wrong on the back end, and now you don't get the money from the hunt. It's going to reset your character back to level 1 instead of all the experience that you get. But they fixed that. they fixed a lot of those issues.
Okay.
It doesn't have that issue anymore where it does that, or connection issues for the servers.
What is this called?
Hunt Showdown. It's
Oh, okay,
by Crytek.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's for those of you that don't know what it is, it's a PvP game where you're dropped into the 1800s as a hunter, but they're like a demon hunter. They've made they don't have a lot of story right now. They're trying to work that all out because they've been trying to bring back their player base because they lost all of their player base from it being so shitty at launch. Right. But it's basically you've made the pact with the devil and you go hunt monsters in order to get your soul back.
Okay.
So you have to fight these giant monster creatures. There's two bosses currently in the game. There's a giant spider and there's a giant. He's called the Butcher. And he's got a pig head on. He's super intimidating looking. But what they changed
is like a WWE wrestler if he went crazy and all gnarled.
Pretty much, he's like Leatherface.
Yeah,
in a way. They used to be able to pick which boss you wanted to go fight and what time of day, and they've completely done away with that. Now you just pick a random map and it just spawns you in, and sometimes there's one boss and sometimes there's two. Now, there being two bosses actually changes the dynamic of the game quite a bit. There's no longer a need to just hunt down anyone that's trying to hunt the boss, or, as I like to do, let them do all the dirty work, wait at the exit, then gank them.
Nice.
However, that's still a plausible thing.
You're one of those assholes in the division.
One match, Saint and I completely stuck to our side. We got the boss. We left with the money and everything else. We found the boss ourselves. As the other players fought the other boss, and they left them alone. They left us alone. So we completely just had a non-aggression pact and just did our thing and left. But this other one, we had multiple teams. For some reason, there was 4 teams in this match instead of just 2 because the player base was picking up, I guess. And we decided after hunting the first monster and finding his lair that we don't want to hunt this one because we don't have the gear to really hunt this one. This one is specifically the Butcher, is what I'm talking about, is weak towards fire or immune towards fire, and he can take damage from shotgun shells but not really bullets, and we're carrying rifles and shit. Whereas the other boss is a lot easier to kill with weapons like bullets and rifle rounds and stuff like that. But it's quicker and will just fucking poison the shit out of you. So there was already players attacking this boss, and so we decided to gank them. Now what you could do as a counter is once you pick up the bounty, it shows your location. You have to run with it kind of blipping in where you are. Not constantly, but blipping. But they've given you the ability to use your sight is what it is. It's this power that you use to find clues in order to find bosses, to see players. So you can find them through the foliage and stuff. So they put a little bit more balancing towards this. These guys may have been inexperienced. Maybe they thought they were unopposed. They didn't know. But we were still able to basically ambush them by the exit and take their bounty. Now, you do get less money for doing that because you're only turning in the bounty, which is about $300, whereas if you do everything, you get $500. So there's still a little bit of a penalty towards poaching. But
I like that. Actually, that's a nice feature that I don't see in a lot of games that promote this kind of gameplay. So I like that.
Yeah, they are trying to bring balance to it so that it's it's not as bad to poach, but it's not as harmful to poach, or it's not as bad to actually go for the target either. You know what I mean?
There is incentive to play it that way.
There is. And I like ganking sometimes, not always. I've been ganked plenty.
I don't believe you.
No, actually, in Tarkov, I don't poach at all. It's one of the big things. I hate poachers in Tarkov. But in this one, because it's kind of encouraged, I figure why not? Because somebody will gank you. Someone will try actively to do what we're doing anyway.
Okay.
And I don't mind fighting other gankers at the exit, which will give everyone's position away, and the other team will go, well, we're not going to go down there where we hear all those gunshots. We're going to go over there to the far exit and leave. But all in all, I still really like the feel, the atmosphere, and the kind of pacing that they have in this game. It's not a very fast, but it's not a very slow game either. because there's all these kind of PvE elements that are in the map that decide whether you're going to be running around like an idiot making a bunch of noise, and hopefully you can either draw people to you so you can kill them, or you could do it stealthily, depending on your builds and stuff. I just think that the player base needs to come back for it. I played a match by myself in a solo event. I wasn't sure if there was anybody else on the map. Maybe there was like one other dude that like queued with me, and he died to like some PvE elements, and I got away scot-free, but I wasn't even sure I was in the map with anybody. I heard no gunshots. I didn't have any opposition. I killed the boss and left. So it's a super dead game, which is really sad because it has such potential.
It's also not full release yet, though, is it?
It's not, but at this rate, who the fuck's going to buy a dead game?
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is weird to say that games in pre-beta or in beta can be dead games. It's a fucking wild world we're living in, because before it was like you release a game and if within 2 weeks no one's playing it, it's a fucking dead game. But now it's like, well, if at launch there aren't 1 million people on it, you're kind of fucked, because everyone has already tried it and judged it by fucking beta standards. It's super fucking weird.
No, I mean, that's the price, though. I mean, you launch early to try to get the rest of the funds you need or whatever you're trying to do it for, in hopes that you'll have life into your game by the time it actually really starts. But if it's shit to begin with, then no one's going to fucking play a shit game, right? I mean, that's just kind of the way it's drawn, you know? I do wish, that's why I'm broadcasting it now, I do wish that more people will come back. Because all in all, I still had a lot of fun with the game. You know, it's still a good game. It just had some hiccups at the beginning that, you know, nobody wanted to deal with.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's at first I was like, you know, selling these games before launch is kind of bullshit, this and that. But, you know, there's been a couple of gems that I've enjoyed playing beforehand. I will say that I get kind of annoyed when they do a full reset. I'm like, why are you resetting my shit? I've paid to get early access to this game. My early access time should fucking count, you piece of shit.
Well, it does in some developments, like Tarkov. It's one that I casually go back now. I play. I don't grind it as hard anymore because I'm waiting for a full release. But the devs realize, hey, you guys are still around. Here, take this thing in game. Just have it because you're year oneers. You know what I mean? Like you guys are cool. Here's a Christmas gift from us to you. It makes your life a little bit easier with management in your fucking inventory system and stuff like that. Go ahead and have it, and have an AK that's fully decked out and shit, and just have fun. You know, so some devs do see that. You know what I mean? And it's because Tarkov has the player base still backing it. Like I said, they are constantly adding new things and they're wiping their accounts. Sometimes it's not as great. This last one was they wiped your loyalty level. Or no, they didn't wipe your loyalty level or anything, but they wiped all the gear and stuff. So like it was like you had a new account, but you still kept all your loyalty towards the vendors that you'd already grinded to. So at that point, it's just a level grind and money grind.
That's still insane, though.
Sucks.
No, money is super easy, dude. You just buy fucking 5,000 MREs and sell them back to them, and they're like, oh, good, we're good now. And then there's the level grind, which is just you playing the game and getting your level back up.
Yeah, but still, I always fucking hate it. I'm actually kind of still annoyed at No Man's Sky right now. Because
I've actually been playing it again. I'm enjoying it, to be honest.
It's enjoyable, but my issue is, like, my weapons were super upgraded, and now all that shit's worthless, and I have to start over. Like, fuck you. It's not my fault you dicked up to begin with. I'm just saying.
I haven't even delved that far into that game yet. I'm still been kind of teetering on it.
Honestly, I restarted it anyways. When I heard that how much work they had done at the patch, I was like, well, if it's going to be a new experience, I don't want to, like, miss out on some stupid feature because it's not going to give me the tutorial because I'm already past a level or something. So
I will watch a YouTube video for that fucking tutorial.
No, I just restarted it, and it's fine. I've actually really enjoyed restarting it. Eduardo looks like he pooped himself.
He did.
No, there was this loud banging noise, and I'm like, I live in Oakland now. This might be a problem.
That's true.
Gross.
So, it's not even that. It was funny. The other day, we were sitting around, and where I live now, the area I live is nice, but it's in the hills, overlooking an area that's not so nice.
So you're like a slumlord.
Well, no, because I don't own any of that shit.
No, but you're like overlooking the poverty below you.
Yeah, you're like the what?
The
like
slum baron, or
who's the guy who runs a mine? Oh my god.
The
foreman?
foreman?
No, there's
Jinx, you owe me a blowjob.
There you go. We'll just pretend that all I did was set that up because it's a better finish than what was going to happen.
That's what she said. So, anyways, we're looking over it, and this is our first night that we're gonna officially spend the night at the new house. And one cool part is
I was thinking of oil barons.
Oh, oil barons.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
So that's not a mine.
I know. That's why I was off.
It's an oil field.
Oil barons.
Anyways, so we're looking out our door, and what's really cool, not our door, sorry, our window upstairs. And what's really cool is we oversee the ballpark here, and the ballpark during the summer has fireworks. So we've been waiting all day to see these fireworks, and it starts getting dark, and all of a sudden, Vance, my wife, starts hearing bang, 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 and she's like, "Look, it's the fireworks." I was like, "No, honey, those aren't fireworks." I'm like, "Those are gunshots. Trust me, I know what gunshots in the distance sound like. Those aren't fireworks." But
yay!
So exciting.
Yeah, it's still exciting. But later on that night, we saw the fireworks on our first night in our new house. It was very, very I don't know, just epic. But anyways, bang bang, click click.
So the new Spider-Man game, I was playing that. I picked it up on Sunday. I like that segue.
I thought you were going to say, speaking of bang bang, Uncle Ben's dead.
All right,
Oh.
so here,
Oh.
the only graphic that I could show you that wasn't absolute dick last minute was this one of the game when you pre-order it, the collector's edition.
I guess that services it enough, and it has some stuff. Sure. So, fun game, fucking butter smooth. Like, even the transition from most of the cutscenes into gameplay is, especially the opening scene into gameplay, is butter smooth. The combat is a lot similar to Arkham, so much so that sometimes my hand naturally jumps to what the button would have been in Arkham, and it's not in this game, it's a little jarring, but that's more of a me thing than anything.
You should change your button scheme.
I do. But yeah, it flows a lot like Arkham, but honestly makes a lot of improvements to how smooth it is. Just some of the transitions into dodging or doing different kinds of combos are a lot less complex. Though there is still a timing element, it's not as stringent of a timing element, which makes it just kind of nice for doing what you need to do and getting it done. The one thing they absolutely had to get perfectly smooth was web swinging. And it is, and I don't even have very many upgrades that make web swinging even better yet. So,
Yeah, because you can do tricks and stuff now too, right? Like,
you can do and the way you swing, if you dive between swings, if you do like dashes between swings, all changes your elevation, the speed you're traveling. Like, you have a lot of variation
That's kind of
on
cool.
how you travel the city. Like, sometimes you're chasing something and you have to move faster or move smarter, go around a building to cut them off when you know they're going to turn or something. Like, you have to be really comfortable navigating the city. And honestly, for the most part, you really, really are. Or at least I am. Like, I'm not really having any problem traversing the city at all. It feels great.
So, story-wise, where does this fall in the mythos? Is it its own thing?
So, I think it's mostly its own thing, but heavily based off the movies. They play the Marvel, like the new Marvel logo at the beginning. It is called Marvel's Spider-Man.
Interesting, okay.
But there are some things that are different, I'll say. Like, not things that immediately eliminate any one thing as being a source. But it's well past when Peter's in high school, so it's for sure not a direct continuation of anything in the movies.
Okay.
So he's an adult. He's already been with Mary Jane and broken up with her due to reasons. I'm actually not far enough in the game to know specifically why. There's little bits here and there. You're working for Otto Octavius in his lab.
Okay.
Helping him build prosthetics. And Norman Osborn is the mayor and the CEO of Oscorp, who's been trying to fuck with Otto Octavius for years. The game opens with you like this isn't a huge spoiler, so nobody scream at me. It's the first thing you do in this game is you're going to take down Kingpin. That's the opening, is you taking down Kingpin finally. And so the backdrop of everything is, yes, Spider-Man's been around for a long time, but a lot of people still really don't like him, including J. Jonah Jameson, who is now running his own news broadcast that is a completely smear Spider-Man podcast. And it's all about how he creates a vacuum by taking down the Kingpin. He's just opened the door for crime in the streets and somebody new to try and take his spot. He shouldn't have done what he did. So you also have this sort of political unrest, as well as a new crime organization that's coming in, plus personal issues. And the reason I mention all of these things is they actually make it work. Like the Batman Arkham games, you never really have to experience things as Bruce Wayne too much. It's either it's 2 or it's 3. I think it's 2, where you start the game off as Bruce Wayne, like going to jail. So you play as Bruce, but you don't really play as Bruce. In this, you have to go to work as Peter, and they work in some fun little side games, like mini puzzle games and stuff to grind out quick experience for things, or to earn, like, there is some crafting in the game, so you can earn crafting through it. Just really, but you get to play as Peter, which is really nice, like, to kind of play as Spider-Man and as Peter. There also, so far, I played as Mary Jane once. My buddy who already beat the game said you actually do that again at least once in the game. And at first I was like, man, I didn't really buy this shit to play as fucking Mary Jane. What are we doing? But you actually, like she's being a reporter. She's kind of sneaking around and taking pictures of things she shouldn't and trying to figure out what's going on. So the game is really approaching things from a lot of different ways. And so far, it's kind of succeeding in all of them, in my opinion. It's doing really well. There's even some like collectathon kind of stuff, which I'm really hit or miss on. It just sort of depends on the game and how it's carried out. This one you're finding, I loved this touch. You're finding old backpacks that Peter had kind of left around town when he was running off to be Spider-Man and forgot about. So throughout high school and college, he would web up a backpack and run off, get in a big fight, and not have a chance to go back and get the backpack, and never got it. So you're finding old backpacks with like memorabilia in them, and so as you pick up each one, he actually tells a little story about the thing he finds in the backpack, and those things become craftable for things you need to make. That's cool. So it's useful. It's actually still fun to go out of your way and get one, because like there's fun little, and they're short. It's not like you have to watch a whole cutscene. It's 1 or 2 lines of dialogue about what that item is. It's really nice. It's kind of refreshing. It's, I don't know. The game is really just like, there are minor frustrations. There are some parts, especially during a couple boss battles so far, where like spider sense will go off, and that's your chance to hit a button and dodge things. Except you're not actually supposed to dodge those things with spider sense, so your own spider sense is kind of misleading you, but it's not made into a big enough element where that occurred to me quickly. It was, you know, there was an enemy using an attack that the spider sense goes off, and your brain goes, hit dodge, and you hit dodge, but dodge is actually not enough to dodge that thing. It will not do it. You have to jump in the air, web a wall, and get away from it, because it takes place over the whole ground. Dodge just makes you backflip or something, and you just backflip into more of where it is unless you're right on the edge of it. If you're getting caught in the middle, you're fucked.
That's got to be a little frustrating.
Right. So like at first I was going like, what the fuck do you want from me, game? But literally after 2 passes, I just said fuck it, and I jumped in the air, and I was like, okay, that's what's going wrong, is you just can't trust the spider sense on this case. So it's a little annoying, but it's nothing that like cripples the entire game. It's a minor annoyance, and any game is going to have little things like that. I was excited enough for the game to buy the DLC already, even though I don't know how to enter it. I think you have to do it through the PlayStation Store. The game doesn't have like an embedded way.
Yeah, most of those now do.
That's weird that it doesn't have that.
Separate thing or what?
Huh?
Is it like a separate thing then? Like, is it a standalone?
I think what you have to do is you have to go to the
you redeem
Store.
it through the PlayStation Store, and then when it's ready to download, the PlayStation Store just downloads it and adds it in.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, it's just you don't redeem it through the game. You do it through the PlayStation Store, which is just
most of their stuff is that way now.
That's weird.
Stop
doing that. Dear Sony, stop doing that.
Insomniac did this game, right?
Yes.
And they have a huge amount of just like stored up good faith because of the Ratchet and Clank games with me.
They do, yeah. I'm a big fan of that series too. Yeah, and so like even the crafting, I find crafting really annoying in a lot of games. This one does it minimally enough. Like you can craft some new suits, which they don't really give a whole lot of in-game lore as to how you're like. You can craft the Spider-Man Noir suit,
Huh.
but they don't really like give you context of like how you can just make that suit and then run around in it, which I don't know, lore-wise to me it's sort of weird and doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
but it's still fine. It's again not enough of a hindrance to really make me give a shit. And the other nice thing, each suit isn't just crafting for skin purposes. Each one has a special ability. So like the first suit you get and you're running around in, you can hit both buttons and build up your focus. Just like in Batman, focus gives you a stronger combo. But in this, you can also drain your focus to regain some life in the middle of a fight.
Right.
Little things like that. The game just has lots of little touches that I'm really enjoying, honestly. So like, I haven't beaten it. I'm not even super far into it. I'm maybe 5 or 6 hours in.
All right, so
out of like a 20-hour campaign. But so far, I'm honestly like 9.5 out of 10. Just fucking solid so far.
we have to talk about it though, graphics-wise.
It's fine.
Okay, so everyone was just talking out their ass.
I mean, I guess it's not as good as the E3 trailer, but fucking nothing is. And like, complain about puddles. I'm really not even seeing puddles with reflections, so I don't care. Like, I'm not looking at the floor. I'm in the fucking air doing Spider-Man shit. Stop worrying about the ground. You're Spider-Man, bro. Go be in the air and do dope-ass Spider-Man shit.
Bro.
And one of the things I'm seeing a lot of people love is the picture mode, the portrait mode. I'm seeing all over Reddit. People love the portrait mode. My buddy who plays the game is also a photographer, and he's like, I love portrait mode. Apparently, he spent like 4 hours on this game just running around taking pictures. I haven't done that. I don't really care about portrait mode, but
Yeah,
it's
I've
dope.
heard.
The game looks
actually
good.
That's actually what piqued my interest a little bit, because I had a buddy that was posting his to Facebook, and I was like, that's really cool. like.
And the portraits look good, so anybody who
Yeah.
wants to talk shit on the graphics, look at the portraits. They look fine.
Yeah.
It looks great.
Yeah, but it's it's different. They can do pre-rendered shit versus dynamic lighting and all that shit for the other ones. So, I mean, I don't agree that people should be all up in arms, but at least it's not like Colonial Marines where that shit was so fucked.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not a big a letdown as Evolve or No Man's Sky or
God,
Colonial
Evolve.
Marines or
And No Man's Sky was not a letdown at all. 'Cause
Well,
I never
compared
fed into
to
the
what they
hype.
promised.
Yeah.
It was not that, and this isn't that. What like? Oh, the graphics aren't as tight. Okay, is every single other thing you saw in there and working fine? Yeah.
But I do know some people that, like, graphics are, like, what they love. You know what I mean? Like, it's...
But even these aren't
I had
bad.
to
It's
buy
not
that
like it's a fucking stick
graphics
figure.
are so dope. I'm just like, but how's the gameplay? It's shit. Okay.
And
All right,
this
but
game-
you're happy with it because of the graphics.
the graphics are good enough that there's nothing. It's as good as anything else that's come out recently. Like it's at least as good as Horizon Zero Dawn as far as the graphics go. It's just as pretty.
Yeah, no, it's
Just as pretty.
It's
And
not
I
bad.
know-
I was watching my girlfriend play it a little bit, and I thought that the texture on Spider-Man seemed kind of a little bit dull. Like the suit that she was wearing the basic suit, and it didn't have like the lighting dynamic I thought it was going to have. Like it wasn't as like.
And
it
that was the
like real
exact thing they were
cloth.
complaining
You know what
about
I mean?
from E3
It
was that
seemed like
lighting dynamic.
it was just like kind of there. You know what I mean, like they just didn't touch it up all the way or something, right? And it wasn't enough to
Sure.
deter me, right? Because I don't give a fuck. I'd rather have a game that's functional than just looks cool,
Right.
But it did seem a little bit off. But it wouldn't be offsetting to me. The rest of the game looked fine. All the explosions and shit were great. She was going through vent shafts and shit, and all that looked fine. You know what I mean? Like it didn't look like it was just like a square box.
Right.
You know, that was
Yeah,
great.
no, it looks as good as any other modern console game. There's
Yeah.
nothing terrible.
Yeah.
Just because you brought it up, I still say Horizon was better than Breath of the Wild.
I haven't played Breath of the Wild, but I loved Horizon. I didn't platinum it, and I think my plan after Spider-Man is to go back and finish Horizon Zero Dawn all the way. I still haven't even played the DLC either, and I have it.
You should. It's fun.
I still haven't played Uncharted 4, still haven't played God of War, still haven't played The Last of Us, but I think I'm going to platinum Spider-Man and Horizon first.
Dude, I keep hearing the God of
I don't
War.
know. Got to do at least The Last of Us, man.
I know, and the sequel's fucking gonna come out, and I'm still not gonna play.
That's like one Sony game I'm happy to fucking get.
I need to do it. It's because I prioritize my PlayStation so low, just because I can always be back here playing a game on my computer, and my wife can watch TV on the nice big pretty TV instead of one of the smaller shitty TVs, and I still get to play great games on my PC. And you guys are here, like I just play games on my PC more.
No, I get it. So do I. I just Last of Us was one of those ones that I ended up buying. I think I bought Metro Redux first.
Metro's aight.
And I beat that game. And I was like, in like 2 days. And I was like, well, fuck. I guess I'll have to get the other one now because it was between those two.
Right.
So I bought that one and I played it and I was like, holy fuck, this is good. Like,
yeah, that's what I've heard. Like, I don't know anybody who's had anything legitimately negative to say about that game.
So here's one thing I will say though, like, because we keep talking about it. Well, not we, but people keep talking about the new God of War, and they look at me and they go, "Yeah, no, it's great. It's a lot. It's like they took God of War and they added some elements from Dark Souls to it." And I was like, "Oh, so I'm never gonna play it. Way to ruin this fucking game."
Nobody's told me that part. I have not heard that from
I haven't heard that either.
Because, like, the whole stamina and shit like that, like the gameplay, I'm like, oh god, I don't need another Lords of the Fallen. That game was fucking unplayable.
No, I don't.
That wasn't
from what I've heard, that's not it. I don't know. We'll see. My buddy's like begging me to play God of War next, so we'll see. He wanted to let me borrow it, and I was like, dude, don't let me borrow a game like that because it's so low on my priority list, you'll never get it back.
But
so, speaking of games that I am playing, I got one more games that I am playing. That same buddy from work actually ended up picking up. I've been telling him I've been wanting to play this game. I've been looking for a copy of it forever for nostalgic reasons. Just wanted to jam through it again. He ended up finding it at a retro store and just picking it up and was like, here, dude, it's on me. Enjoy it. Enjoy your weekend. Picked up Thug, Tony Hawk Underground for the original Xbox.
Boom. So what's the difference between Tony Hawk Underground and Tony Hawk Pro Skater series?
Pro Skater is more of like, I don't even want to call it mission based. You basically get a map and there's so many like things you have to do in that map to earn points, progress on, unlock new skaters, and get another map, right? Tony Hawk Underground is actually, there's a story. Think of it like any of the Madden games where they add a well, I don't know if they call it campaign mode, but where you have a player and you have to like run the season and work him up and get him traded and shit.
Okay.
They've done that for some games, or like NBA Streets story mode, something like that. It's that. It's Tony Hawk campaign mode. So
I just remember like the agent guy that you get in Thug, and he kept saying Skittles instead of skills.
Yes, that guy's obnoxious.
Yeah,
but that's what it is. So you play as a kid who's trying to work his way onto the pro circuit. Then you get on the pro circuit, you meet a bunch of pro skaters. All the while, you're like, it's stupid missions like the team got drunk and you got to skate around and go find them and wake them all up. But the game is still killer soundtrack, a lot of really cool quote-unquote new features, like for the time, having a lot of that stuff in there was crazy, and honestly just a fun, well-built game.
Didn't they also like add dudes from Jackass in it and stuff?
Well, a lot of those guys were pro skaters, so Bam Margera's in it and his friends show up in it because Bam skated for Element. He was a
right. Yeah, no, I know that part. I'm just saying that like they had like Steve-O and like a bunch of other ones that were there.
I didn't refinish it, so I don't remember who all shows up, but you also might be thinking of American Wasteland. Because American Wasteland, you had to pick or was that Thug 2? One of them you had to pick a team, and you were either Team Hawk or Team Margera. And it was going around, it was doing Jacket. I can't remember if that was Thug 2 or if that was American Wasteland now.
I don't know. It was either, I haven't played American Wasteland, so it's either the Thugs. It's one of those two.
Okay, then it's Thug 2. It's not number 1, because I'm already far enough in that I would have had to have done that.
Isn't Thug 2 the huge disaster one, or is that Thug
No,
3?
that's Tony Hawk 4 or 5.
Yeah.
The one where you basically can't play it anymore.
The game is now, if you buy the disc, the game is not playable because the disc requires a download to complete the game.
And those servers are no longer up.
Right, and the servers are down, so unless you have a hard drive with the game already installed, you cannot play that game. It technically does not exist anymore.
Bullshit.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. The Thug 2 came out either on the same console or on the 360, but it's still an older title.
It was original Xbox, because I played them both on original Xbox.
Okay, so yeah, but Thug 1 is a blast. I mean, it's what a lot more sports-related games need. Like, I might actually play a Madden.
I would. No, I might.
Well, let's be fair, but I'd play an NHL one. I would play that if they did like an NHL something like this, where you have to like, you start off in the minor leagues, you got to work your way up, and you got to get a label, you got to go do commercials and shit. Like man, you have to manage a player's life. That's what Thug is. It's not just you working your way up. You also have to pick a team. You have to choose which team you're being sponsored by. You got to fly their gear. You got to design your own board after a while. And like, there's not really points associated with it, but it takes you through like this sort of not realistic idea of what it is to work up through the pro skater ring, whatever you call it, the circuit. There you go. The pro skater circuit. That's what it is. And it's just a blast of a game. I'm having just as much fun with it as I did. The real reason I wanted to play it, honestly, is because it has the feature where you can upload your own soundtrack. So, the old Xbox, you could put CDs in and store them to the hard drive. So if you built a playlist on there, you could import that playlist into Thug, and you could skate to your own music. And I was like, man, I just want to upload a bunch of my old CDs and skate in Thug. And then I got Thug, and I remember that all my CDs got stolen when I was a senior in high school. So I don't have any of the shit I used to listen to upload onto this fucking Xbox, so I just used the built-on soundtrack, which is still a great soundtrack.
Still not bad.
Oh, well. That sucked, but kind of like it was like, yeah! Oh. Immediate regret.
All right.
I've been playing the game that someone bought me. I'll give a shout to him, to Jacob Page, actually. He plays with us on multiplayer nights sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
He got me For the King. It was on sale at one point for like $15 on Steam.
That one. That one.
It's $20 normally. And I was like, I'll give it a shot, maybe, And then, I was like, fuck, I'll give it a shot. Let's see what it's about. And I started playing this game, and it's a indie game. The graphics aren't the greatest, but that's okay. I don't mind.
Yeah, we can see the screenshot.
Different graphics. It's a turn-based RPG roguelike game.
Interesting.
You only get 3 characters at a time that you get to use in your party. It's also cooperative 3 people, so each person can take on one of the people. And you can work together, or you can separate and try to do tasks and stuff like that. And it's kind of on a hexagonal grid, almost like Civ 6 had that. And it's the same kind of thing. And it has different scenarios and stuff, but the main one is For the King, which the king has died, and the land now is in ruin, and there's scourge happening as well as chaos. And you are kind of normal people, because you have like blacksmiths and stuff. It's not like you're a hero, but you're becoming a hero going through this, trying to stop the scourge. And it's really simple. Like, it's not overly complex. There's not like limit breakers or anything like that. Like, it's most of your skills are tied to gear. So whatever gear you have depends on the skills that you can use inside combat. And the way rolls work is that they're random R&D. They're just like dice rolls. And each weapon has a different success rate. Some are 2, some are 1, some are 5. And you have focus points. And focus points you can use either in those rolls to guarantee a success on a roll, or you can use it in like outside combat for other guaranteed success rolls and stuff like that, like ambushing or focusing on a task in order to, like there's a cult warp gate that you can shut down that you can use focus on in order to shut it down, so you can succeed at 100% instead of just randomizing it. It's a lot of fun. I played it by myself. I ended up falling into buying it, and Saint as well, and both of us we've all kind of played it, not together yet, but we're going to. And we had a blast, especially with Fallen. We played it for like 4 hours and like pushed through a bunch of shit. It got to the point where we had really good gear. We were like going through this thing, and we destroyed all the enemies. We got the keys. We were going to go to the maze, which will unlock something else.
Oh no!
And we weren't thinking. We didn't buy healing items, and we went into a dungeon. And once you go into a dungeon, you cannot leave the dungeon until it is cleared. There are shops that pull up there. Like there's a goblin shopkeeper that will sell you things at a ridiculously high price because he knows you need them. and it was just a party wipe. And that's where the roguelike comes in, because if there's a party wipe, you have to start the game over again.
Ouch.
I'm out. Just fucking out.
But
that shit infuriates me. I got through FTL and that's it.
It's not that bad though. Sure, you're sad, but it's a lot of fun. You're like, all right, let's go do it, because now we know what we're doing. So now we're gonna go through it faster.
No, there's no sadness, only fury.
It was good. I highly recommend it. It's one of these like indie games that has blown me away. I'm having a blast with it. Fallen and Saint are also enjoying the game and having a blast with it, and I think that it should be picked up by people. I like this developer. I wish them to keep doing more things. And that's another thing. Even if you party wipe, you still get lore points from collecting lore books throughout the game, which allow you to add more things onto the board, like warp gates for yourself so you can teleport without having to use scrolls to certain places, or vendors that have certain items for cheaper that are more exotic, or people that can raise your skills, or new classes, or even new encounters. So it's always changing.
Okay.
It's not...
So there's a game I play called Everspace. Have you played it?
I don't think I played that one. I think I've heard of it though.
So they explain away the rogue aspect of it as you're just clones that you keep going out in these spaceships, right? Mm-hmm. And upgrades that you as a kind of a character you get to keep those. But yeah, you lose items and weapons all the time, and you randomize the start. So even that's pushing it for me, because if I've got in really far, I'm always like, yeah, my stuff. So I don't know. It sounds like a good game, but I don't know if I would enjoy it. But I think Bonsai likes roguelikes.
I know Bonsai would probably really enjoy it.
It sounds great.
I think you would if you can get past the whole like roguelike, because it doesn't happen very often, but it's just so like you have a life pool as well, and that's what you use to raise party members, and you can do certain things in order to raise your life pool or add back to your life pool and stuff like that. Only once you run out of your life pool does it actually affect you, but shit can go really south. We added the Dark Carnival to the game, which has 3 games you can play at any time. One's a fun house, which has some bad things and a lot of good things. Then there's the mystery box, which is basically you don't know what you're going to get, but most of it's going to be bad except for like the top 2. And then you have other ones that are super bad and may have a couple top ones, and you can't use focus there. So we went from having a 4 life pool to a 2 life or 1 life pool. It was like 3 to 1. So our shit went south really quickly because we decided to gamble really high end stuff. But you don't have to. You don't have to do that. You could play a little bit safer and smarter if you want. We're just like, fuck it, let's do it. I want the mystery box, and then 30 damage to the party, and 2 party members go down.
A mystery box could be anything.
Exactly.
It could even be a boat.
Exactly, or more life pool. But it does say on there, like when you start up the game, other adventurers have tried and are better than you. Don't be discouraged.
Oh yeah, that makes it all better, you pieces of shit.
It does to me, because it lets me know right away I'm going to have a learning curve that I have to get past.
All right. It's true. I am not going to diminish this game. It sounds actually pretty good, and I love developers that are doing new things and trying stuff out. But I will say I personally am not interested. But you know what I am interested in?
Dicks?
Well, you know, mostly just my own, but sure. No, the FML League, guys. We need to update
I can't believe
shit.
We almost forgot that shit again.
No, we didn't. I got it right here on screen, bitches.
All
right. So this is the beginning of a new season, so we can run it through clean. I was the winner of the summer season. I snuck in there at the end because Bonsai was pulling all kinds of bullshit. I had 6 wins, and here, let me show you that fucking season. So here's the summer season. I had 6 wins. Bonsai had 1 win, and Klops had 2. 2 fucking wins.
But it was almost a perfect combo too, though.
Yeah, that's true. So you did make a lot of money off of that, but then after that, you just started sucking hard.
Well, that's because like I went to the next one and I was like, wait, why are my picks still here? Why have all the movies changed?
Yeah, I have no idea how.
Yeah,
what
I don't know
happened
either.
there.
They didn't even give me a
But
prompt to pick.
well, and there were a couple of them where you didn't put anything at all.
Yeah, I
Like,
forgot about it, or
yeah, and that also
Yeah,
kind of
maybe.
screwed me a little bit. But Bonsai was winning because he had second a lot, and they do cumulative, so it's about how much money you gather. So, anyways,
I had second every time I didn't have first. I never hit third. I
you
only
sure?
hit yes.
no, that was my spot.
I thought you hit third once.
Nope.
You had one really terrible week, man.
And that terrible week was the week that Klops didn't play anything.
Oh, okay. That might be it.
Only thing that saved.
So, here we go. We are now into the fall season. And first week of the fall season, y'all can fuck yourselves. I'm just saying. No, it's really close. So, let me just go back through and show you, exactly what was played. I almost hit leave league. That'd be really bad.
right in the middle of this.
So, fuck it, I'm out.
Bye.
So check this out. We had very similar beginnings, except for Klops, and we were so close. We were 4 million apart from loser, which is me this week, to winner, which was Bonsai.
So,
And well, here's the interesting part: we all at one point or another had first place this weekend.
yeah, it was a weird week.
It was a really weird week. Like, I forget who had it, but after Friday night's numbers came in, one of us had first. And then all of a sudden, Saturday night's numbers came in and someone else took first. And the difference was only like $3 million. And then at the end, this morning, for the numbers that had been not completely tallied, I was winning. And I bounced down all the way to fucking third. And actually, Klops was winning. I think Klops was the one winning the Saturday one. But we had very similar things. We were both like, okay, there's this horror movie that's coming out, which is The Nun. And Bonza and I both went for, Crazy Rich Asians because it's been trending really well.
Killing it.
And then I thought, kids movies, but apparently I chose the wrong kids movie.
Yeah.
Christopher Robin.
Christopher Robin was the way to go, because that probably, if I would have chosen Christopher Robin, I think that would have taken me up to first because of the
probably yeah
with the Crazy Rich Asians. But
and you both went for Happy Time Murders, which was not doing well at all. And I actually really want to see that movie, and it's apparently just not.
I actually do want to see it too, although I don't think Melissa McCarthy's as funny as people say she is.
Well,
she was great in Gilmore Girls.
If you say so.
Oh, you just hate that show because your wife makes you watch it every single...
I've never seen more than like 2 episodes. She just watches it on her own. I've seen it. I don't like it.
That's so he claims, which is weird because that's a very slice of lifey kind of show, and that's kind of your thing.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely up my alley. Just something about it, not a fan.
Well,
can't do it.
Well, I don't know. It has, probably because it has a bunch of stars that you don't like. It does guest star, well, not guest star, he was on it for a while, the guy from Supernatural, and you hate that fucking show.
Oh, yeah, I can't stand that show. That show's not watchable.
But yeah, so we're doing well. We're going to keep on going. Let us know in the comments here on YouTube, or write into 5D Podcast, comment on our stuff. If you want to join.
Setting my lineup now.
We're more than happy to send you an invite. I've got till Friday. I'll wait. We can do that later.
I just set mine.
All right. Catch us Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. on twitch.tv/Metagame Network. These episodes of our podcast will be up on our website. That's 5D Podcast, and you can see that on the screen here. Also, if you have iTunes, we are on iTunes and Podbean.
Podbean.
There you go. Final words, Klops.
Say Podbean.
Podbean.
There you go. Bonsai.
I got him to say Podbean.
It's not even like it's a dirty word. Okay, and on
He
that
was just
note,
so excited about it.
bye.
Yeah.